Hey everybody, what's going on? We are here with the beginner guide, hopefully the comprehensive beginner guide to Calibria Crystal Guardians. I've been playing this game quite a bit and I have a lot of experience in other games like this, and I've had a lot of people ask me about a beginner guide, so I wanted to go ahead and get this knocked out, get it up for you guys, for the newer players who are in here and you're feeling like you don't know what to do or you're unsure. Maybe you're coming from another game and you just want to make sure you're doing the right things. Maybe you've never played a game like this and you have no idea what's going on. That's totally fine too. Everything is hard until you know it, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna try to break down everything the best I can. The first couple of things that you want to make sure that you understand when you come into a game like this is in your quest tab, you're gonna have daily quests. You want to do these every single day. These are gonna be things that are gonna bounce you around the game a little bit. Especially as a new player, this experience is gonna be huge. It's gonna help you level up, and these crystals are also gonna be very useful. Pretty solid rewards in here from doing your dailies. You want to make sure that you do them every single day when they reset. That's a very important part of any of these games. Another really important thing to do, I should have stayed in quest, another really important thing to do early on is go into your quest tab, go into the fight tab, and you'll see you've got all these different sets of missions here that you can do. Advanced training, they're all going to guide you through a certain part of the game in a certain way. And it's kind of to get you familiar with what it is you're going to be taking on. You get to see how the difficulty scales. It's very useful, so you want to come in here and pay attention to these as you're playing this game. Particularly where you want to start is quick level. In quick level, it's going to start you over here, 1, and then number 2, Black Hills Normal. That's where you're going to get a 1-day double EXP booster. This is crucial when you're trying to level up your heroes. Whether it's leveling up heroes that you are trying to build and use, or if you're trying to make some food along the way too. For as early as I'm suggesting that you come in here and get this, it's going to be for building the champs you want to use. That Angel of Death that the game is going to give you early on, the other starter heroes that it gives you. This is going to be really useful in you kind of expediting your progression. Twice as much experience for 24 hours. If you're playing heavily and pushing through the campaign, this is going to be really, really handy to have. So come in here and get this as soon as you can. It's in the second mission, so it's not too hard. You have to clear Blackpool Hills on normal using auto battle with your farmer and then 4 level 1 heroes. So it's not super hard to do. Your Angel of Death does have to be kind of decent, but it is not that hard to obtain. And it's a very important one to do. Beyond your daily quest and the tabs in the quest, over here you've got your growth plan, and you've got something called a starter path. And I believe the starter path, if you finish it in 48 hours, you get bonus rewards. It's not that hard to finish. Just play, follow all the instructions, let it guide you. It is worth getting the double rewards for finishing it within a certain amount of time. I believe it was 48 hours. I don't remember 100%, but I do know there was a bonus for finishing it in a time frame. The growth plan. There are different, I guess we'll call it waves of the growth plan. As you finish one, you'll go to the next. I am told that there are 6 of them. They obviously get progressively more involved, but the rewards in here are absolutely insane. And this is the only time in this video that I'm going to talk about spending money. But if you are going to be a spender in this game to any degree, if you're going to spend any money at all, this 2x card up here, you're going to get the option to do this for every round of the growth plan. And what it does is it gives you gems every time you do it, and then every reward that you get from the growth plan, it's going to double it. The value is unmatched in any game like this I have ever played. You get so much stuff for $5 per round of this. So if there's 6, $30 total, you will never spend better money in a game like this. So if you're going to spend money at all, this is the thing that I recommend you spend your money on to begin with. It is just crazy. If you look at my prizes left, I'm a pretty good ways through this round of the growth plan. I believe I'm on 3. If you look at what I have left to collect, just from this is not counting the rewards I'm getting from in there. 28 Mystic Scrolls, EXP cats, a lot of Ascension cats, a lot of 2 stars, which as you get a little bit further in the game are going to be crucial for evolving these guys. Ascending these guys. More scrolls and a lot more Calionite, it's called in this game. So well worth it. I would suggest doing it every round. Again, if you're going to be a spender to any degree, that's where I recommend putting your money first. But the growth plan is just a crazy resource for rewards. So be sure you're in here doing it as well. Now, You'll see over here you've got your different currencies. This is your energy. This is how much you can play the game. Stages are going to have energy cost. Depending on where you're going, that's going to vary. This is your arena energy, basically. And they both refill over time. Obviously, the arena energy refills much slower. But that's just so you can play the game. This is Calionite, so you can use it to buy things from the shop. You're going to use it to upgrade your runes. It's kind of the baseline currency for a lot of what you're doing in the game. And then your crystals here, this is more of the premium currency. Now, you can earn plenty of this just by playing the game, getting the rewards. I've seen it dropping from the campaign stages occasionally. This is what you'll use to... You can use it to summon. You can use it to do different things. Refresh your shop if you don't want to wait on the cooldown, things of that nature. What these are for, and I think a misconception, I certainly had it when I was new to these games, my understanding was that these were for summoning, and that was it. So when the first time I saw the game ask me if I wanted to spend this currency to refill my energy, I was like, no, no, of course not. But that's actually the thing to do. If you are concerned with efficiency, using these crystals on energy refills and expanding your storage. If you scroll to the end of your storage, there will be a little plus sign. Expanding your storage, expanding your hero box, things like that. But then refilling your energy. The more you play the game, the more you progress. That is the most effective use. Now, I'm not telling you to never buy the 750 crystal summon pack, which if you come in a recommended, it should be at the end. Yeah, right here. I'm not telling you to never buy that. Buy it occasionally, especially as a newer player. Summon your heroes, have your fun, enjoy your game. But when you get to a point where you're concerned about efficiency for these, it's energy. Energy refills every time. That's going to be the by far the most effective way to use them. Daily wishes. You'll see here you have this little wish thing. You get 4 of these a day, if I'm not mistaken. And if you have enough of these indicators over here, the wish is going to get pushed down out of sight. And it's not going to, there's no notification, right? There's no like, hey, there's something down here that needs your attention, like something down here. So you want to be sure that you come over periodically and scroll and check when you have a wish available, because you can get some good stuff in here. I rolled mine this morning and got a skill cat. So a lot of the time it's going to be the smaller amount of crystals or the smaller amount of Calionite. Or the energy, but the energy, it's all very handy. It all adds up, and like I said, there's potential here for 6-star rune. There's potential here for a skill cat, which I did get this morning. There's some really good stuff in here, and again, it doesn't always notify you if that is pushed down. You're going to want to roll in there and check it and make sure that you don't have a wish available, because those are really good. Another little quick note: in battle, if you go into battle, any stage that you've cleared, you can then go back and auto battle. Right here, you can set what runes you want it to sell automatically. You can set it not to fight again on a loss, and you're going to do it. And you're going to notice that it says 5, that there's 5 auto battles. Some people are thinking that means there's only 5 you can use. That's not the case. It's unlimited, and you can do it anywhere that you've already cleared, just 5 at a time. So you'll start it up, let them go through their 5 battles, come back, start it up again. So not quite as involved farming as generally you might be used to in this game. But you also can't just turn it on and leave it on forever. So I like the setup there. I think that's cool. But just don't misunderstand that for meaning that there's only 5 auto battles per day or something. They're unlimited. It's just 5 at a time. Okay, another big one I hear from players, that this is a big mistake they make at the beginning of the game. When you are pulling heroes, and you're going to want to be ascending heroes and making them stronger and getting the main ones built, a lot of people make the mistake of feeding the wrong heroes and then finding out later that someone they fed was actually really good. So, rules of thumb here: don't ever feed a Nat 5 to anyone else, ever. Nat 4, hold on to them. Generally, you want to at least keep 1 copy of every hero in the game, because even if they're not good right now, they may get buffed. You know, sometimes these games will do a bit of a meta shift with a balance patch, and someone who wasn't good now becomes really good, and you don't want to have fed someone that now becomes really good. So even if you don't have plans to use a 4-star right away or a 5-star, put them in the storage and forget about them. Keep 1 copy at least of every hero in the game. It's a good idea to do that with 3 stars as well. However, it's not as crucial, and depending on how much you're going to be summoning, if you're going to be a bit of a big spender and you're going to be summoning a lot, Not as crucial for the 3 stars, but again, it is still technically the correct answer. So I am personally doing that. I am making sure that I have at least 1 copy of everybody in the game, because I'm going to want to do a lot of things with a lot of different heroes and see what's possible, and the best way to do that is to have them all, right? Now, when I say that, you may be thinking, well, how do I ascend the heroes that I'm building? If I don't have the food, how do I do it? On top of getting a bunch of these as you get rewards for playing the game, one of the staples for these games is farming. So you build your farmer. For a lot of you, it's going to be Angel of Death. She's the hero that they give you early on in the game. She's a fantastic farmer. You get her built, a little bit of speed, enough damage, she's going to be able to farm for you. It's going to take a little time, but you'll get there. And then that mission where I told you earlier to go into quest, fight, and quick level, and it says clear Blackpool's, what is it, Blackpool's Lake? Blackpool Hills? I don't remember the name of the stage. Where it tells you to clear it with 4 level 1 heroes. That's introducing to you the concept of farming. You have 1 strong farmer, and the rest of it is food. And you will level them up, ascend them, level them up, ascend them, and get them into whatever position you need them to be in, so that you can then use them as food. So 1 stars become 2 stars, 2 stars become 3, 3 become 4, and then you can use those to 5 star, right? So it's a long process, it's very grindy, but that is the nature of these games, and that's how you make it work. One more thing in this section, you get these Ascension Cats, right? You will never receive an Ascension Cat that is not max level. So if you get a 3-star Ascension Cat in your inbox, it will be 25. If you get a 4-star one, it will be level 30. The way that you use these is you ascend them first, and then their food for the next level up. So for example, I didn't want to go all the way out though. I have this 3-star Ascension Cat. Before I use this on someone, I'm going to ascend it to 4-star, and it's going to look like this. Then it'll be level 1 again, and then it's ready to be used, okay? So don't feed them to someone else at max level. When you receive it, make sure that you ascend it. If it's not level 1, don't feed it to anybody. That's the rule of thumb. Don't bother leveling them up and ascending them again. That's too tedious and not what they're for. They're to be ascended once and then used as food for the next rank. See what I mean? Another really important thing that might not seem that important to you, but is very, very important, and I've left her unlocked to this video so that I could do it here. This lock, this little lock where it says lock hero, is crucial. It is crucial that you do this. It may not feel like it, but when you're enhancing heroes and you're in here and you're clicking around, you never know when you try to scroll and you accidentally put a hero in that you didn't want, and if you're running through the motions and you're doing things quick, you might come over here and do it real quick, and without even knowing it, I might have fed Selena. So as you and I messed up because I didn't come in here and lock Selena. So go into your heroes. Anybody that you don't plan to feed to someone else, anybody that's not food, hit that lock button. And that way, when you go into the enhanced screen, anybody that's locked will be grayed out. And you can't ever make the mistake of feeding them. It seems like it's not a big deal. Everybody thinks they're paying enough attention. I promise you, we're all human. You will eventually make that mistake. Everybody's done it at some point. When I first started Summoner's War, I thought, that lock's not a big deal. I'm not going to go in and lock every... You need to do it. I promise. You need to do it. While we're talking about these little buttons, set as main just means set as your rep hero, so that your friends can use it in battle. If you go into a battle, you'll notice when you're putting your team together, down here is all your friends, and that is their rep. So on your friends, whoever you set as your main will be down there. You want to set someone useful for them, someone that's a good farmer perhaps, so that they can use the farmer to take their food into a stage and have one less hero absorbing EXP, right? It's a good bump. And even though they only get to do it once, if your friend list is pretty solid and they all put good farmers, you can run through it and get quite a bit more progression than you would using your own farmer. So it's a pretty handy little thing to have. Okay, I'm going to talk very briefly about runes. I am going to do a guide later where I really go deep on runes and explain them to you, but I want to touch on them here just so that you have the general concept down. in info, you'll see you have a champ type: attack, support, defense, things of that nature. You don't want to pigeonhole every champ based on that. So just because someone says attack doesn't mean that they need pure attack. Just because someone says defense doesn't mean they need pure defense. The more that you learn about these heroes, the more that you'll know what types of things are going to be effective on them. But when you're new, it's a good rule of thumb. If you see attack, then you can build them for damage if you're really new. And like I said, as you learn and as you grow and as you ask questions, you'll come up with more things. But what I want to touch on with the runes is there's 6 slots, okay? There are fixed stats and percent stats. 1, 3, and 5 will always be fixed stats as a main stat. 1 is always going to have attack, 3 is always going to have defense, 5 is always going to have HP. That is always going to be the case. It will never be different. If you're trying to find anything different as a main stat in those slots, you're going to drive yourself nuts because it doesn't exist. 2, 4, and 6 are where the variations can take place. And this is where you want to be looking for specific things. So for example, my Noctura, I want damage out of her. I've got attack on 4 and 6. Eventually I want crit damage there. But you see it's attack percentage, and then slot 2 we go speed. Speed is a pretty common slot 2. So when you see slot 2 speed runes, it's probably just a good idea to go ahead and keep them. They're gonna go on somebody, okay? So again, I'm gonna do a much deeper guide on runes, but I wanted to just explain to you the real quick first glance. 1, 3, 5 are fixed stats. 2, 4, 6 are where your variations can take place, and you generally want them to match what you're looking for. So if it's a defense champ, just look for defense percentage 4 and 6, speed in slot 2 if you can get it, things like that. But understand that, again, guide coming later. Okay, I'm going to talk about the fusion real quick. The Necromancer Fusion. If you go into Heroes and you go into Craft, you'll see Necromancer. Now, I do want to say, this is something that you want to have your eye on. This is something that you want to be planning for. This is not the first thing you need to prioritize when you're brand new, though. What you do need to get your farmer built. You do need to start getting some heroes built. You do need to start making some things happen. If you only consume yourself with getting Necromancer immediately, you're going to miss out on a lot of progression. It's ultimately not going to be great, and it's going to take a while. You're going to have to get in those marked dungeons and farm quite a bit. You're going to have to make quite a bit of food, and earlier on it's going to be better spent making yourself a little stronger, making yourself be able to farm a little bit deeper in the catacombs, push up into the campaign, maybe farm hill. So this is important. Be working for it, be planning for it, but be doing it in the background. Okay, it's not the first thing that you need to do in this game, but relatively soon. Okay, I think I've gotten that out of the way. Anyway, Necromancer, fantastic champ, and these 3 champions. Hero. These 3 heroes right here are these 3 heroes. So if you don't pull these from scrolls, you can come in here and fuse them as well with other easier to obtain heroes, okay? So if you need a shield guardian, you can come in here and get a divine priest. Not come in here and get one. A hydra and a gargoyle. You take, and a rock golem. You find these 4 heroes, you get them to 4-star, evolve them, then you can fuse a shield guardian. Then you can start building him for Necro. Same thing with these 2, okay? Now, this guy, you can only get when someone finds his dungeon. So anyone farming the evil catacombs has an opportunity to find this dungeon, and then anyone on that person's friends list can enter the dungeon. And that is how you'll do it. You'll go into that dungeon and farm pieces of him. So that is how you'll do it. Quick note, I'm told that they're very difficult, so if you're earlier on in the game and you find this dungeon, it's best to just join and back out and join and back out and get a piece for your participation every time. I believe that they've said it takes 40 to do it 40 times, and then you'll have enough pieces. Might sound like a lot, but it's going to be well worth it. So just burn through it, get that done, and that's it. But I wanted to touch on the fusion, give you a perspective of when you understand it's not your top priority, but it is very important as you push through the game a little bit. And then that's how you do it. Okay, one more thing I wanted to touch on for skilling up heroes. Let's go into the Enhance tab. If you'll notice, there's some heroes that I have duplicates of, right? If you feed the same hero to another hero that matches, so for example, like this. If I feed him to him, he's going to not only get the experience from it, he's also going to get a skill up. If this guy was level 30 and ready to be ascended, I could use these 3 to ascend him. He would go to 4-star and he would get 3 skill ups. So you can use them in that fashion as well. Beyond that, let's say that I had this card envoy and I fed him this one and he got a skill up. So now this card envoy has 1 skill up. And then I fed this card envoy to this card envoy. He's going to get 2 skill ups now because he absorbs the skill ups that this one already had. So that is a really cool feature that I have never seen in one of these games before, that they don't punish you for accidentally skilling up someone that you're going to end up using as food. It will just redistribute to the new dude that it's being fed to. I think that's really cool. Another quick one, as you push through the campaign, you'll be going through, you'll be 1-starring every level and going on. You're going to hit a point where you can't beat it anymore. What you can do then is just drop all the way back to the beginning and play it on hard, and then 2-star as far as you can. And then by then you may have gotten a little bit stronger, you may have leveled up a little bit more. Then maybe you revisit your gear, maybe you upgrade some stuff. Then you can probably come back and push through a little bit more on the 1-stars, then a little bit further on the 2-stars. Now if you'll notice, I haven't cleared the last stage yet, but I've 3-starred all the way up to here. So just realize that when you hit a wall in the campaign, just drop all the way back and 2-star, and then go up 1-star as far as you can. And then when you hit another wall, drop back 2-star, drop back 3-star. Okay, don't feel like you have to do all the 1-stars and then you have to do all the 2-stars and then you have to do it. You don't have to do it like that. When you feel like you hit a wall, just drop back and level up a bit and push through that way. One little quick tip for one of the daily quests is battle with a friend 3 times. I've had a couple of newer players misinterpret this, and I realized that it is a little bit strangely worded. Since you can duel, since you can send people live duel requests, this is worded a little bit strangely. This does not mean that you have to duel 3 of your friends every day. This means, earlier when we were talking about rep monsters, rep heroes, dadgummit. These guys down here, this is, you bring one of your friend's heroes into battle with you. That is what battling with a friend is, not sending them duel requests. So don't think that you have to find 3 friends that are willing to duel you every day. Just bring one of their rep heroes into battle, do that 3 times, you're good to go. Alright, and my last tip for you is just be patient with yourself. Don't get frustrated, especially if you're brand new to this type of game. This is a ton of information that you have to learn. So just understand that you're signing up for a very long-term thing here. It's a very long-term grind, and that there's a lot of information to take in. So just be patient with yourself. Don't get discouraged if you feel like it's taking you a long time to learn stuff. It's a while. It's going to be a few months before this stuff all really, really clicks and sets in. So just engage with the content, watch your streamers, watch the other YouTubers, get different types of content, get different types of input, ask questions, play the game, have fun with it, and just know that it's all going to come, okay? It's all going to click. It's all going to make sense at some point, I promise. You just got to keep doing it. And again, in the meantime, ask questions. So now what I would like, because I know that there's some things that I didn't remember to touch on. I tried to be thorough here, but I'm sure that there's some stuff that some of you are watching this and thinking, why didn't he say this? So now what I would like anybody to do, if you've been playing this game or games like this, if there's anything that I didn't mention, maybe there's something glaringly obvious that I forgot to mention, if you've got any other helpful information, I would really appreciate it if you would drop down in the comments and leave it there for other people to see, because I know that we're going to have a lot of new players watching this. And again, if there's something important that I missed, I need you guys to get my back down there and throw that information in the comments for me so that they can find it down there. So beyond that, anybody that is new, if you want to come hang out with us at twitch.tv/jgigs, I will be streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern most weeknights, and then randomly on the weekend I will pop up and stream. But we have a really good time over there. The community in the stream is so helpful. We really enjoy having new players in there and answering your questions. So come over there and kick it with us. Ask questions in the comments here. Check the comments for the helpful stuff that some of the more experienced players are going to be leaving down there. I do hope this was helpful. I appreciate you watching. If you got something out of it, subscribe maybe. You don't have to. if you want to see more of what I do, I would appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. That's it. I'm done rambling. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the stream. I'll see you in the comments. Have a good one.